Hello and welcome to Teresa's Journal. So I worked 12 hours last night, the last 3 nights. Just waking up, drinking my coffee. I have about an hour before my 6-year-old, soon to be 7-year-old, comes home. Um, and and then another hour before my 17-year-old comes home. So I've gone back and forth on this. But I've just decided there's so much negativity right now. There's so much on the news that's negative. So much anger, so much frustration. On the psych unit, we've had to limit the news because it's stirring people up and causing problems. Just watching negative behaviors makes people feel more negatively and act more negatively. It's really awful. I do want to say that I don't think racism has gotten worse in our country. I think it's existed for a very long time. I personally have seen improvement, but it is getting filmed. And with everybody carrying cell phones with the capability of taking video so easily, we're seeing it more and more. And these things go viral because they're awful. I do want to say that if we're going to pour money into this problem, I really feel, especially when it's coming to these riots, I think there's peaceful protesters, and I think that we should have the right to assemble and protest peacefully when we disagree with things that are going on. But these peaceful protests are being hijacked by disgruntled Americans of all colors. And if we want to stop that from happening every time there is disparity in the world, we're going to have to put money into changing the fact that there are the haves and the have-nots, and the gap is getting wider. There's definitely opportunities for people to improve themselves, but they've got to want those opportunities, and then they've got to know that they're available. And from a very young age, we need like community centers in the inner cities. We're young and older people who have children can go and get support, both child care, so people can go to work and school. So not so much a hand out, but a hand up, and believe in helping people as much as we can. Oh, Yahweh, oh, America and the world is in pain. So much suffering. Please be with George Floyd and his family. I hope you take him into your arms. I hope you take him into your arms. Nobody deserves to die that way. So, enough about that. Smoking a cigarette and it's gone out. I'm trying not to smoke on the show. I've been telling myself not to because I don't want to encourage it, and I do want this to reach a lot of people. I know I smoke, but it's really not healthy for you. I started smoking when I was 13. I'm going to be 50 at the end of the year, and I don't do well without it, and my cortisol levels soar. So, I do want to share a story, and it's related to what's going on in the world right now. When I was a young lady, I wanted to be a psychiatrist, and I went and got my bachelor's of science in psychology, and I was in a class called social psychology, which is a very interesting class. I highly recommend everybody take it who goes to college, and anybody who is out there. I highly recommend college for anybody who's even just slightly interested in learning and improving themselves. But there I was in the social psychology class, and at the same time I was doing research on traumatic brain injured patients, testing for central sleep apnea, not obstructive. It's different. I don't have time to get into what that is, so if you don't know, I'm sorry. Go ahead and look it up on the internet. Do your research. It's easy. Obstructive sleep apnea versus central sleep apnea. So we were looking for central sleep apnea, and I went in at night and hooked up the patients to the machines to monitor them for it. The resident got the research participants to join, and then I went in and actually set up the equipment at night before they went to bed. So I went in and I had this case, and it was a business owner who got attacked in an alley and suffered a traumatic brain injury, a TBI. And so I went in and read the case. And then I went in to what I thought was his room, and it was this African American man. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I stepped out, or I went to step out, and he goes, "Are you here for the research?" And he had such an eloquent voice. And I said, I stuttered. I said, "Yes." And he said, there was a room full of people, so much support for him, so much love in that room. And he said, I was jealous. And he said, "Can you give me 10 minutes for me to say goodbye to my family?" And I said, "Of course." And I stepped out and I looked at the room number and I looked at my sheets, my clipboard, and quickly went to the bathroom, closed the door, looked in the mirror, and started crying, because I realized I had thought I had walked into the wrong room because he was an African American, and I didn't expect an African American to be a business owner that got attacked in an alley. Shame on me. Shame on me. So, all of us out there, we need to examine our own behaviors and our own prejudices. They run deep. They run very, very deep. And a lot of times we're not even aware of them. And they hit us out of the blue. When they do, acknowledge it to yourself and look at ways to change. We can't change other people's behaviors. Nobody can. The only place that we can really make a difference is with ourselves. It's called an internal locus of control. That's believing that you have the ability to change your environment based on your behaviors. An external locus of control is when you believe that other people are controlling your environment, and then you react based on their behaviors. People with an internal locus of control tend to do better in life, according to the research. So try to develop it. If you're finding yourself always blaming others for things and not taking responsibility for the way things are going in your life, you need to sit back and reflect on how you might be playing into your own problems. Yahweh, please give us wisdom today and every day. Be with America. Be with George. Be with the world. And I would really like you to be with the researchers right now. I'm scared with this COVID pandemic and the new information coming about the kids coming down with an inflammatory disease that can affect the heart as a aftermath to COVID itself. I'm worried about our children now, folks. This is getting serious. It's not just the elderly. It's just not just the immune compromised. It's our young children now too. We need to be wearing masks. We need to be social distancing. Sorry. May Yahweh be with you.